Hello and welcome. If this is your first time here, I'm Garth Allen. This is Racing News Now, and this is our off-season show, Your Next Favorite Driver. We are joined this week by the one and only Mr. Rajah Caruth. How's it going today, man?
I'm great, Garth. How are you doing, man?
Good. So, on this show, Raj, we just dive into your history. We get to know you both on and off the track. So let's start out with your on-track history. What got you started in racing?
So I got started in racing from just Lightning McQueen, getting die-cast, seeing stop motions and crash compilations on YouTube, seeing it on television, obviously. Kind of the combination of all of that. I didn't grow up going to the racetrack, didn't grow up having family ties in the sport. I just gravitated to it through that.
Let's look at your history. How did you first get in a race car then?
The first time I was in a race car was I did a test at Concord Speedway with Rev in 2019, and then we the fifth mile at Concord, and then raced at the summer shootout a month later. So those were the first times I was in a race car.
Okay. Now, fast forward from there to getting with Rev Racing. How did you get hooked up with Rev?
So I got with Rev through the NASCAR Drive for Diversity Driver Development Program. Basically, I just raced on iRacing for the duration of, or I guess half of 2018, and built up my resume to really apply and try out for their youth program. So that's kind of how that happened. And then, excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's early. It's early in the morning.
Yeah,
we'll forgive you.
And then tried out, and luckily was fortunate enough to be accepted into the program. And that's really how that relationship started with Max Siegel, and all the personnel at Rev, and all the decision makers at NASCAR as well.
So let's talk about the iRacing thing, because that seems to be more and more common now as a lot of drivers are getting noticed and getting rides from being successful in iRacing. How much do you feel iRacing actually helped you get into the real cars?
I think obviously it provided me the platform to get noticed, but also iRacing helps, especially for someone that didn't grow up racing and doesn't have a concept of it. You learn so much from being you learn so much from just being on there like hours on end every day. And that's why the kids on there are so good now, because they are able to spend 8, 10, 12, 16 hours in a day on it, and just grind and race and make laps, and that's how you get better. And so it helped me from just teaching me the basics, and then now I can know that stuff I learned on there I can apply, and some stuff I can't apply, and some stuff I can practice for next year. And I did that thoroughly this year. So overall, iRacing is a great tool, and when it's used properly, it's a great tool. And when it's not, it's perfect fun.
Well, and longtime viewers of this channel will know how good you are on there, as we raced on there a few months ago. You thoroughly kicked my butt in that race. I think didn't I give you or you gave me a full lap head start, and not only did you unlap yourself, you almost lapped me by the end of it after like 25 laps. It was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So let's look at the more of you as a fan growing up now. Who was your favorite driver growing up?
So growing up, my favorite driver was Jimmy Johnson. And then when Bubba started making a name for himself, I gravitated toward him. I like Jeff Burton too. Carl Edwards, obviously Dale Jr., who didn't like Dale Jr. And then Mark Martin. My dad liked Mark Martin too, because he got interested in racing, or like he paid attention to it because I was like interested in doing it. And then I would say mainly Jimmy and Bubba. then Burton Jr., Mark Martin, Carl Edwards. I don't think I'm missing any.
So pretty much the whole field.
I guess. I mean, fun fact, I know for the longest time, I was like 9. So Junior ran out of gas, right, for the 2011 Coke 600. And I was mad because obviously, everybody wanted him to win, but then Harvick passed him. And so 9-year-old me was like, dang it, Harvick, because he beat him at Martinsville like a couple months ago. I was like, come on, man. But now, like, I have a real, like, appreciation and admiration for Kevin Harvick. So I was thinking about that literally the other day. Like, that's really funny how that has come full circle. So.
The funny thing about Harvick is I've said this a lot, but I feel like if he had been in Stewart-Haas type equipment for his whole career, we'd be talking about him in the conversation of greatest of all time. The numbers he's put up since he's been in that kind of equipment has been ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not to necessarily negatively comment on like any of the RCR stuff, but it's about as he has stressed a lot, like it's about people. So what he's found with Rodney at Stewart-Haas and all of the people over there, they've hit it off. Obviously previously having the support of Hendrick engines, and then now being backed by Ford, they've had it going. So it's a matter of, well, what could have been if they had got together in 2012 or 2008 or something like that. So, but definitely want to continue to appreciate seeing them on the racetrack, because sooner or later they'll go out and do other things. So to be a fan, enjoy seeing them race on Sundays.
Definitely. So looking back to the first time you sat in a race car, what's your most memorable moment in your career thus far?
The most memorable moments I have so far, I would say at Dover, it was pretty, like, obviously we didn't finish because we blew right front, but that was almost a full circle moment, because that's a racetrack I've been going to watching races since I was 12, 13 years old. So to attend that race and then race, obviously it's an ARCA car and it's not an Xfinity series yet, but to do that, I mean, that was so awesome. So that was probably the coolest moment so far, is having that moment to myself of like, it's really had come full circle, and we're not even close to being done yet, but I'm sure I'll have that similar moments this year at Richmond and Dover again in the Xfinity series with Alpha Prime Racing.
Well, and that was a race, I think you opened a lot of people's eyes too, because there was a good portion of that race before you got taken out that you were the fastest car on the track. And I think if you'd made it to the end, I think you actually could have contended for the win in that race. So that's one I think you opened a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah, thanks. I know I was kind of, the 18 was obviously really good. And Josh, with his experience and his ability to, like, it would have been tough to race against those two. And I think, especially at that point, I wasn't in over my head per se, but I was pretty green. So, I mean, I would have gladly taken a third, obviously. But I think if when I do that race next year in the East Series, hopefully we can win that one. That one will mean a lot to earn that one. So we had a couple this year that we could have been in the contention for the win, and at the end of races, like, we were fastest on the racetrack, but different circumstances would alleviate that. Some of it my doing, some of it not. So I'm prepared for next year to take advantage and then hopefully get some wins.
So are you doing the full East schedule this year?
So I'm not doing the East schedule. I'm only doing Dover.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I'm doing the full national ARCA deal. So no other East races aside from the combos. But Dover will be the standalone East race that I do this year.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you were running the full national schedule, but you mentioned Dover, so that clicked, and I was like, oh, is he running the full East schedule? So looking forward now, 30, 35, 40 years down the road, when you finally hang up the helmet, what is your ultimate goal in racing? What do you want to be able to say you've done in your career?
Honestly, I think I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's like I don't want to set goals that are too high or underwhelm myself. So I honestly don't know. I mean, I would love to be a multi-time Cup champion. I would love to have a successful driving career, but I think like once I'm done racing, hopefully when I'm like 50 something plus, I'll have had a good career, a successful career on the racetrack, but off the racetrack, really used the things that I received because of the success for something good, like whether that's giving back or making a change in whatever aspect of in this country or the planet. I mean, I feel like I'm doing paying my dues to do that. So I would say, I hope that answers your question. I'd say that's what kind of what my goals are, and like specific statistic wise, I mean, it's I would love to get wins and championships, but so many things aren't in your control. So I'm just gonna try to keep my head down and plug away, and hopefully start off with an ARCA championship next year.
Yeah, definitely. So what's at the top of your racing bucket list? What haven't you done that yet that you want to do, whether that be an actual race in a race or just attend something you haven't been to, or whatever?
Man, you make me feel old. Bucket list. Man, I don't know. I mean, I just want to race anything I can get my hands on right now, just like everybody else. I mean, I would love to do the Indy 500 one day, or race a Formula One car, or at least test one. And then, obviously, that's if my mom or girlfriend lets me do that. And then that's something that I've wanted to do, especially over the past year. Obviously, that's something that happens when I'm like a legitimate adult, you know, like 7, 12, 15 years down the line. But that's something I'm interested in doing. One of them enduro races will be fun. Rally, I guess like that cross-country rally stuff. That seems fun. Just really anything. And honestly, I know they have in Alaska, they have like super late models and stuff up there. I feel like that would be pretty fun to do too. So,
You go snowmobile racing.
Ooh, that would be fun. That sounds fun and something I would hurt myself doing, but it would be worth it.
It'd still be fun though. As long as it's fun, it doesn't matter if you get hurt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you weren't racing, what would you be doing?
I would honestly I'd be in college. I'd be at like either Morehouse, Clark Atlanta, you know, any other HBCU. I'd probably be running track or doing something. I think track is the only sport I think I could have done at a collegiate level. Not really basketball or soccer, although I would have liked to, but I think track is something I could have done at a collegiate level. And then for, I guess, education-wise, probably a communications major. That's probably what I would be doing. Either communications or like something with Winston-Salem has like, there's like an art school up there too. So maybe something in that department. Luckily, I'm not doing none of that. We're racing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to take advantage of it for the most part right now.
Definitely. So who is the coolest driver / person that you've met in the garage so far?
One of them has to be Darrell Edwards. He's a tire carrier for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Okay.
He's either a carrier or a jackman now I think about it. But That's a good dude. He's from Baltimore, so not too far from where I'm from, the DC. Yeah, that's a cool dude. He's cool. All my teammates are pretty solid on Rev, and then honestly, let's see. Industry wise, I mean, obviously, like I've got my my little trio of friends. There's Dontre Graves. He works social at NASCAR. Kenny Lee. He works social, or not social. He does stuff with racetracks at NASCAR. Monin Rahman. He's an engineer at Venerini. And Brad Perez. He's a tire specialist at Rackley War Racing. So that's my little clique in the industry. Those guys are awesome as well.
Okay. So if you could pick any one driver in NASCAR history to 1v1, who would it be and why?
Either Dale Earnhardt or Harry Gant, or
okay,
Dale Earnhardt, Harry Gant, or maybe Rick Mast, or Davey Allison, actually.
Okay. Those are some interesting choices. I don't think anybody's ever picked Harry Gant or Rick Mast. Why them?
Because I'm an old head at heart, man. I'm a nerd and an old head. So
okay.
Unfortunately, half of those guys aren't around anymore. But
right.
I would that would be something I'd really love to do in another lifetime, or virtually, or however. That would be awesome to do. And them old Cup cars. Obviously I'm a kid. And I don't know if I could drive some of them things without power steering, but it would be fun to do.
Next time we have you in iRacing, we need to use the 1987 cars.
Oh gosh, well we got Monday night racing tonight, so we'll race those in Michigan.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, unfortunately, by the time this goes out, that will have already happened, but because this will go out on Thursday. But yeah, so should be fun either way, though. What does a typical day look like for Rajah Caruth outside the track?
I'd say normal day would be like I start off the day with a workout. Luckily, my semester's over. Like I'd usually have class sprinkled throughout the day, but luckily the semester's over, so I've got a break from that. That I'll start the day with a workout, and then really a lot of errand running. I've found myself doing that over the last couple of months, whether it's getting parts from places, taking seats to get certified, getting measurements, just adult race car racing people stuff. And then I try to train at GoPro with my go-kart every week. Over the past couple of weeks, I haven't been able to, just because of I've had finals last week and was at PRI, and kind of other things kind of got in the way of that. Things that couldn't really be moved. So now that things have kind of slowed down in that aspect, I'm excited to get back on my go-karts. And then usually when I get home, it'll be like 2, 3, 4, or 5 o'clock. I'll eat because I'll be hungry, and shower probably. And then hop on iRacing or watch Race Hub or The Office or something. Just kind of decompress, hang out with my girlfriend or and all my friends or something. And then I would say go to bed at a reasonable hour, but I don't go to bed at a reasonable hour. Nobody really does. Right. But that's kind of what my day looks like. I think the good thing, and it's a blessing and a curse in this industry, because especially for, like, I'm obviously not at TRD, so they have like their drivers have their days scheduled, curriculum, everything, seeing this person, that person, doing this, that, and the other, right? And so thankfully, being at Chevy now, having a Chevy team in both ARCA and Xfinity, that'll be awesome to have a little bit of structure, but still have some leniency to do the things that I need to do, whether it'll be go to Winston-Salem for class, Go to GoPro, get parts, or just go to Dave and Buster's or something.
Nice.
And enjoy. This may sound cliche, but enjoy being 19 in college. I don't go to parties or nothing. I've never been like that kind of person, but I will go and cook people at the basketball thing at Dave and Buster's. It's very fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's always good. Having a good work-life balance, that's always definitely a good thing. Got to have a social life.
Yeah, exactly.
So what kind of hobbies do you have outside the track?
Man, not much outside of racing stuff. I'm pretty addicted. I would say I like playing Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto. Man, I hate to say it. I like The Office.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a hobby.
I was just watching The Office yesterday, actually.
Good choice. That show is awesome.
It's the episode where Michael and what was her name? The lady that filled in for Toby. There was the PDA episode. You remember that one? Where they were being
Holly?
Yeah, Holly
came in.
Yeah. I couldn't remember her name, but yeah, they were being all up on each other in the office. Yeah.
Yes, I've watched that show so many times over.
Yeah. So I think you probably just answered this one, but what's your favorite TV show?
The Office.
Okay, nice.
So
what's one interesting thing about you that nobody knows?
What does nobody know about me? I'm a really picky eater, and that usually annoys people when we go out to places because I'll either get the same thing or we'll have to go somewhere else. So that's the main thing. I got jokes that I think are funny, but normal people don't think are funny.
Okay.
Honestly, bro, besides that, I'm pretty boring. So that's really it.
Okay. Well, that's our biggest takeaway from today so far. Rajah Caruth is boring.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to end off here playing a little game of this or that. You ever played this or that before? Okay. So basically, I'll just throw out two options for you of similar things. You pick which one you like better. If you want to explain why, you can. If not, we move on to the next one.
Let's do it.
All right. So throw you a softball for the first one. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay.
I'm a dog guy, but I will say I've seen some TikToks of like these tiny baby cats that people like dudes can hold in their hands. I'm like, oh, that's not cute. I would. That makes me want a cat, but no, I'm a dog guy.
Okay. Dirt track or pavement?
I mean, pavement, but I've driven dirt once and I loved it, so I will say pavement, but I will pick dirt in a heartbeat.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't actually done dirt yet at the ARCA level, have you?
Not yet, but hopefully I can do like a modified or something to prepare for the 2 dirt races in the summer.
Okay. Road course or oval?
Oval, but I'm putting in the work to try to learn how to road race. Okay. It seems so much fun to do if you know how to do it right.
Right. Yeah, it definitely takes some work. I'm still not good at it at all on iRacing, but I want to be because it does seem like very fun if you get it down right.
Right.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube, because you can find anything on YouTube. Netflix, they literally you find something that you want to watch, and then it's like, oh nope, you have until December 30th to watch it. Like, bro, you could have just not told me.
Right.
But YouTube's the GOAT.
Okay. Instagram or Twitter?
I had Instagram first. I'll say Twitter because the stuff I see on there be so funny. Because like it's awesome because you can see what people like, and they'll be viral ones sometimes. So usually the viral ones are like something mad goofy or just stupid. So like, or like some like a duck smiling or something.
Yeah.
So it's it usually adds good stuff to my day.
Dude, I'm the exact opposite. If I didn't have to have a Twitter for like my professional life, I wouldn't even have a Twitter. I can't stand Twitter. I don't know what it is, but I've never been able to get into Twitter. It's always, if I had to pick a social media, it's definitely Instagram.
I got you.
Yeah. Football or basketball?
Basketball, without hesitation. Without hesitation.
Okay.
I unfortunately hurt myself playing basketball earlier this year, so I went in the hard way, but I still love basketball.
Nice. Burger or taco?
Taco.
Okay.
Tacos for life. Shout out.
Nice. Passenger or driver?
Driver. I will not. Well, usually when people drive me places, I like fall asleep in like 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
That honestly is probably tied to going to bed not early.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Probably.
Driving, not passenger, or not being a passenger.
Okay. Car or truck?
I'll say a car, because I mean, you can put a trailer hitch on it and take whatever stuff you need to. I mean, a truck, if you just want to go out, like, it would be kind of weird to take your work truck to like a nice restaurant or something.
Yeah. TV show or movie?
TV or no, movie.
Okay.
Does that include short films, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, sweet. All right, cool.
Let's see. Country or pop?
Country, because I used to like. I mean, all kids like pop music when they were younger, but my main genres right now are like rap and country right now.
Okay.
So country is more of a summer thing for me.
Yeah.
And I hate the cold, so it kind of sucks right now. But rap and country are my two.
Okay. Superman or Batman?
Justice.
Okay. $1 million in your bank account or an IQ of over 145?
What does the IQ thing mean?
It means you're extremely smart. I think over 145, I think means you're technically a genius.
I'm taking $1 million in my bank account because I feel like, what could I use it? Like, what would that be useful for, having that IQ? Like, I feel like someone else could make better use of that knowledge than me, especially the fact that I'm in the racing industry where you spend your paychecks on race car parts.
Fair enough. But if you were that smart, you'd be able to advance your team that much more and make so much more than $1 million, right?
True.
Yeah.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah. Got to play the end game here.
End game, I like it. It.
Be born in the future or the past?
Probably the future, because, well, past as in when?
Whenever you want in the past. Could be yesterday.
If I were to say past, I would say like 2000 or like late 90s, because then I could grow up in like the 2000s, and that just seems like peak.
Isn't that
society.
when you were born anyway? When were you born?
I was born in 2002.
Okay, so yeah, that's basically when you were born.
But I gotta put it back a couple of years, so that probably wouldn't have helped me for being a racer, but for growing up purposes, like, that means I wouldn't have been 5 when freaking High School Musical 3 came out, and I would have been able to understand what was going on and apply it,
Okay.
Remember all the good Disney shows and movies and anything, and watch Osmosis Jones in the movies,
Yeah.
I would say for that reason. But in the future, if I could be born in the future, that would be cool, because I mean, it's the future. So then it would be like awesome.
I figured you were going to say in the past, just because of how much of a NASCAR history buff you are, and you just want to be back in that time period.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good point. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. That's a good point.
Okay. Ferrari or Lamborghini?
I'll say, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I don't really pay attention to, super luxury cars like that.
Okay.
So,
M&M's or Kit Kat?
Kit Kat.
Nice, good choice. Let's see. Last one, work at SpaceX or Google?
SpaceX would be cool because then I could go to outer space.
Yeah.
But Google, because I just have access to even more knowledge. I don't know. Probably SpaceX, because then I could get to a high level position over there and then have access to so much government secrets. So I could just scour through their archives and just look up stuff about UFOs and
I don't think SpaceX would
underground
have access to
Atlantis
that.
and stuff. But I'm saying having a high position at SpaceX, so inherently you'd have a lot of income, and so you would have some sort of stature with all the government people. So you'd be like, hey, I want to know this. That's my end game, because when I'm older, hopefully have money, I'll be like, okay, did this actually happen? Is this real?
Yeah.
Etc. Did y'all actually convert birds to drones in 1953, etc.?
Okay.
Which they did, by the way.
Well, when you find this stuff out, I'd like to know as well. I'm a big alien buff myself, so I'd like to know this stuff as well once you learn this.
Yeah, I'm telling the whole universe. Sorry if it gets me killed, it's worth it.
Raj just disappears completely off the face of the map one day. We don't know why.
Yeah.
He just doesn't show up at Daytona. Everybody's like, where's he at? Who's going to drive the 6 car?
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
I hope not. All right. I think, well, you know what? I do have one more. Since you took that one in that direction, let's go with this one as well. Zombie outbreak or alien invasion?
Well, in what aspect? Are we saying for fun, for survivability, for what I'd prefer? What's the...
Yes, all of the above.
Okay, survivability. Zombies are going to be... Well, it depends what kind of zombies. Because if it's the World War Z zombies, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if it's Walking Dead, just... then it's fine because they're slow moving.
They actually just introduced World War Z type zombies in Walking Dead.
Oh, that is great. That is... Yeah. I totally need to hear that. God, man. Jesus. So if it's World War Z zombies, then we're screwed.
Yeah.
But if it's just slow moving zombies, then it's fine, because you can just continuously you can just be like nomads.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
See, that's the thing though, because it feels like every time in The Walking Dead, every time they just start killing them all, and then they're just not paying attention, and then all of a sudden one just comes out of nowhere, and it's are they really as slow as what they're being portrayed as,
Right, exactly. But if aliens pulled up, then that'd be a problem, because logically, if aliens came to this planet, we'd be kind of screwed, because the fact that they could come from wherever they came from and just pull up here for whatever reason that it is, I mean, I'm kind of screwed. So
yeah,
I mean, that's I think survivability is going to be better for zombies versus aliens. But I mean, aliens can pull up and not want any harm or not want to cause nothing.
Yeah.
But knowing humans, we'd be like, "Ooh, you can pull up," and then they just mutilate our whole species.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's it. Is that a pit board behind you? I've been wondering that.
That
This
is a
whole
pit
time.
board.
Okay.
I'm at Tommy's shop right now because I was just
Okay.
kind of doing some work. So just came in the office to talk with you.
Okay. Nice. Well, I think that's all we got for you. So, Raj, thanks for joining us today. It has been a pleasure getting to know you a little better. Hopefully, some of the fans have decided maybe you are their next favorite driver after this show. And good luck this season. I'm sure we'll be talking to you a lot more this year.
Thanks, man. I'm excited for next year, Garth.